In the early 17th century, the Dutch East India Company, also known as the Verenigde Oost-Indische Compagnie, or the VOC, emerged as one of the most powerful companies in history. The VOC was founded in 1602 as a joint stock company, with the aim of establishing a monopoly on trade between the Netherlands and the East Indies, primarily modern-day Indonesia. The VOC's business model was based on a combination of trade and colonization. They would purchase goods such as spices, textiles, and tea from the East Indies and sell them in Europe for a profit. They also established colonies in the East Indies to protect their trade routes and resources. The VOC had a strong military presence and used force to secure their trading posts and enforce their monopolies. One of the keys to the VOC's success was its ability to raise capital through public stock offerings. Investors could purchase shares in the company, which gave them a stake in the profits from the VOC's trade ventures. This allowed the VOC to finance expensive expeditions and establish a vast network of trade routes throughout Asia. The VOC's profits were substantial, with some estimates suggesting that they earned an average annual return of around 18%. They achieved these profits through a combination of factors. Firstly, they had a near monopoly on trade in the East Indies, which allowed them to set high prices for their goods. Secondly, they were able to keep their operating costs low by using their military power to extract resources and labor from the regions they controlled. Finally, they were able to exploit new markets and trade routes as they expanded their operations throughout Asia. The impact of the VOC on the Netherlands was profound. The company's profits helped to fuel the Dutch Golden Age, a period of economic, scientific, and artistic growth in the Netherlands that lasted from the late 16th century to the mid-17th century. The VOC's success also helped to establish the Netherlands as a major colonial power, with colonies in the East Indies, South Africa, and the Americas. At its peak, the VOC had a fleet of over 150 ships and employed over 30,000 people, making it one of the largest and most powerful organizations in the world. The company's dominance in the spice trade was so great that it is sometimes referred to as the spice monopoly. However, the VOC's success was not without controversy. The company's policies of monopolizing trade and using force to maintain their position led to conflicts with other European powers, as well as with local populations in the regions they controlled. The VOC's treatment of native populations and the environment was often exploitative and destructive, and has been criticized by modern historians. Despite these criticisms, the VOC remains one of the most successful and influential companies in history. Its business model of combining trade and colonization, its use of public stock offerings to raise capital, and its ability to exploit new markets and trade routes were all groundbreaking at the time. In terms of valuation, the VOC was the largest company in history. At its peak, the company was worth an estimated $7.9 trillion in today's currency, making it significantly larger than any modern company. By comparison, the largest company in the world today, Apple Inc., is currently valued at around $2.4 trillion. However, it's important to note that comparing the VOC's valuation to modern companies is somewhat challenging due to differences in economic systems, currencies, and accounting practices. Additionally, the VOC's valuation was based on a combination of factors, including its physical assets, such as ships and warehouses, its trade monopolies, and its ability to generate profits through its operations. In conclusion, the VOC's rise to become the largest company in history was based on a combination of factors, including its innovative business model, its ability to raise capital through public stock offerings, its military power, and its exploitation of new markets and trade routes. The VOC had a significant impact on the heyday of the Netherlands, contributing to the country's economic, scientific, and artistic growth, as well as establishing the Netherlands as a major colonial power.